Hi, today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret as to why your copyright page really doesn't matter. Now, first, let's get right on into it. The question of the day that was sent in is how to write a self-publishing copyright page. And that is something that everybody wonders. When we open up any book that we're reading, we will always notice we have a title page. We're going to have a copyright page. There may be a page for a disclaimer in the back. There's a number of pages that are included in all books. And these are great things that we're going to need to complete if we're going to self-publish a book. So how exactly are we going to fill out this page? Now, there's a number of things you're going to need to know exactly about this whole copyright page. Before we get into that, this is Chris Baird from Self-Publishing Made Easy Now, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, and if you would like me to make more videos like this, and also check out below in the description and you will see that I have a free self-publishing checklist to help you get started right away. So let's get right on into it. When I first started, I felt quite a bit of overwhelm. I saw all of the different pages you needed to include in your book, and I didn't know exactly where to start. It seemed very confusing. Do I include this? Do I include that? What are the consequences if I include it? I looked on the web. I saw other books that I had been reading, and I used some of their material, their copyright page, and followed the samples that they had and used it for my own publishing. And over a period of time, I began to understand that there are some things that matter and some things that don't matter so much, and why they matter can be a little bit confusing. So let's get into the answers. The first thing is, if we're going to do our self-publishing copyright page, you're going to want to write copyright and then have the C symbol. Some countries don't recognize the copyright symbol, so you're going to want to write out the word copyright. In addition, you'll have the year, and you'll also have the owner of the copyright. And then you can also include all rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or issued in any manner without written permission of the copyright owner, except for the use of quotations in a book review. This can also be added in order to try to protect the document. Now, the secret is that all of this work really doesn't matter that much, and there's a couple of reasons why. And the first reason, it's because when you publish the book out there, whenever it's put out into public and connected with you, you already have a copyright on it. People cannot just go ripping off your material. So if you go and create a blog and you put out some content there, even if you don't have a copyright claim stated directly again on that particular writings that you've put out there, you actually have a claim. People are not allowed to go and rip off what you wrote and then use it on their own websites and start making money and commercial value out of that. So you're already under protection the second you take what your ideas, you put it in writing and put it out there. So it is already protected. So then the question might be, and then you have the other issue, and this is the other reason why it really doesn't matter so much. It's because if somebody is going to steal from you and they're going to take your works and try to resell it or try to put it out on the internet for free, generally these people are really not going to have a lot of money, the people who are doing this. So what are you going to do? Is your plan to sue them? Is that what the plan is? And then the question is, how much will it cost you to use the lawyers that are necessary to bring about a lawsuit against those people if in reality they don't have much money in the first place? And the second thing is, how many sales are they really undercutting? Getting your books to sell can be a challenge already when you have ads and you're on the right website. Most people who want the book are not going to be trying to figure out illegal ways to go about getting your book. Now, if you're a famous author, then of course it is useful and beneficial to protect your writing. But by that point, you're already published by a major publishing house. They have a whole series of lawyers. And even then, those books are usually easily available by people who it's impossible to figure out where they are in the world that are posting those books. And suing them, who also have no money, so there's really no value in it. And you might think, that you would make an example out of them by suing them, but the other people who would be ripping you off as well, they're not paying any attention to that. So the lesson would have to be learned all over again for each and every person. Some people describe this entire situation as a whack-a-mole effect. As one comes up, another, you smash it down, another one comes up, and then you go after that one. And eventually, you're really just losing money in the process. And if your goal is to make money, then you're going to want to be really careful with this particular process. And so you're not going to want to be doing this at all. And so one of the thing is we should do it just because it's out of best practice, a good idea in general to have the page in there, just so that for some people they may look at it as a warning, so that if they were unaware of the fact that it was protected, they wouldn't rip you off. Secondly, it makes the book look more professional to actually include the same pages that other major books include, so it makes it look like a professional book. And you should. Your self-published book should be as professional as possible. But if you think that you're going to save money or stop people or something like that, it's really going to have no impact whatsoever, because the probability that it is worth your while to sue somebody who's stealing from you or the content of your book, it's usually not the case unless the people are stealing. But if they're stealing from you, obviously they're not able to earn money in a way that would be a legal fashion. And secondly, only if you're a major author does it really pay off. What about you? What have you found? Have you found it useful to include a copyright page? Has it been very tricky for you to come to figure out the different elements and the parts that are necessary in when you want to write a self-publishing copyright page? Let me know below in the comments, and check out right above me here for another video that answers your self-publishing questions. Thanks.